3 worst and 4 best Honda Civics to drive forever. If you are shopping for a Honda Civic, you are stepping into a world of reliability. But even legends have their troublemakers. Some Civics are marathon champions that can chew through hundreds of thousands of miles without a single complaint. Others, well, let's just say they have sent more owners to the parts counter than the DMV, turning simple commutes into financial horror stories. Today, we are sorting through 3 Civics that age like spoiled milk and 4 that age like fine machinery Honda engineers probably high-fived over. From the models that built the Civic's unstoppable reputation to the ones that quietly betrayed it, we are laying it all out. By the time we are done, you will know which Civics deserve a spot in your garage and which ones deserve to stay right where they are. Let's kick things off with a Civic you should avoid like it's leaking oil in your driveway, because chances are, it eventually will. Coming in at number 3 on our worst list is the 2001 to 2005 Honda Civic, the 7th-gen model that should have been another bulletproof commuter, but instead became famous for one thing: catastrophic automatic transmission failure. And trust me, it earned that reputation. On paper, it looked like classic Honda magic. Fuel-efficient, lightweight, simple SOHC engines that could run forever, and the kind of daily driver comfort people loved. But underneath that reliability halo was a transmission design that turned these Civics from economy cars into bottomless money pits. The problem models are the automatic DX, LX, and EX trims, especially those built between 2001 and 2003. These transmissions used a weak torque converter and undersized internal bearings. Over time, those bearings shed tiny metal particles. That debris circulates through the fluid, contaminates the valve body, and eventually chews up the clutch packs. When that happens, the Civic starts showing the classic symptoms: delayed shifts, slipping in second and third gear, sudden jerking at low speeds, and a whining noise that sounds like the gearbox is begging for mercy. Some owners report the transmission failing as early as 70,000 miles, with many giving out around the 120,000 mile mark. And when it goes big. A proper rebuild can run $2,500 to $3,500, and replacing it with a remanufactured unit isn't much cheaper. That's more than some people paid for the entire car. Meanwhile, there is a workaround, but only if you catch it early. Frequent fluid changes using Honda's OEATF and installing an auxiliary transmission cooler. But most owners don't realize anything's wrong until the slipping begins, and by then, the damage is already baked in. If you are shopping for a used Civic from this era, the rule is simple: avoid the automatics. The manual transmission models are fine, even excellent. But the automatics, those are financial grenades with the pin already halfway out. But if you thought the 7th gen's transmission fiasco was ugly, wait until you hear about what Honda cooked up 15 years later. Because the next entry on our worst list isn't just a mechanical headache, but a full-blown engineering stumble that blindsided thousands of owners. Coming in at number 2 is the 2016 to 2018 Honda Civic, the early 10th generation models equipped with either the 2.0-liter naturally aspirated engine or the 1.5-liter turbo paired with Honda's first widely used new generation CVT. At first, this Civic looked brilliant. Sleek new design, more power, better fuel economy, and a modern powertrain lineup meant to put Honda ahead of the pack. Instead, these years became infamous for one thing: fuel dilution in the 1.5T and premature CVT wear across both engines. Let's start with the engine codes you need to remember. All early 1.5T Civics, particularly the L15B7, are the troublemakers. Here is the core issue. Under certain driving conditions, especially in cold climates or during short trips, raw fuel doesn't fully vaporize. Instead, it seeps past the piston rings and mixes directly with the engine oil. This thins the oil, reduces lubrication, and creates a toxic cocktail circulating through the engine. Think of it like washing your bearings with gasoline. Over time, this leads to timing chain stretch, carbon buildup, increased wear on internal components, and a rough idle that gradually gets worse. Owners report rising oil levels, strong fuel smells in the cabin, and check engine lights that come and go like the weather. And the CVT? It doesn't get off the hook either. Many units experience early belt slip, juddering at low speeds, and internal wear accelerated by the contaminated oil feeding back into the driveline. By the time symptoms become obvious, the damage is already baked in. Replacing a CVT in these Civics can run $4,000 to $5,000, and a full engine teardown or replacement isn't far behind. Honda eventually issued software updates and minor mechanical revisions, but for the 2016 to 2018 models, the long-term damage was largely already done. But as messy as the early 10th gen fuel dilution saga was, it still isn't the Civic that earned the darkest mark in Honda's reliability history. For that, we have to travel back a decade, because the next entry didn't just develop problems over time. It rolled off the assembly line with a defect baked right into its DNA. Coming in at number 1 on the worst list is the 2006 Honda Civic, the first model year of the 8th generation, and the one infamous for a failure so severe that even Honda had to step in. On the surface, the 2006 Civic seemed like a leap forward. New R-Series engines, improved fuel economy, a stiffer chassis, and a futuristic design that looked years ahead of its competition. But buried beneath all that innovation was a manufacturing flaw that would turn thousands of these cars into mechanical heartbreak: cracked engine blocks. The affected engines carry the R18A1 code, and they were installed in the majority of 2006 models sold in North America. Here is what went wrong. The aluminum engine block was cast with thin coolant passages, and over time, those passages began to weaken. When the cracks form, coolant starts to seep out, slowly at first, then aggressively. Coolant leaks down the back of the block, evaporates on the hot surface, and leaves a white, dusty residue that most owners miss. As the cracks widen, the engine begins to overheat. Once it overheats, the head gasket fails, warping the head and destroying compression. One owner reported losing nearly an entire radiator's worth of coolant every 500 miles. Another documented a block split so badly, it dripped onto the transmission case. Compression tests on failed R18 engines commonly show readings far below safe levels. At that stage, the engine is done with full replacement only, and a new Honda long block runs roughly $4,000 to $5,000, not including labor. Honda eventually issued an extended warranty for the defect, but many engines failed after the coverage expired, leaving owners to foot the bill. So if you are shopping for a used 8th gen Civic, avoid the 2006 model like the plague. Later years fixed the casting flaw, but this one did not. Now that we have dug through the Civic generations that can empty your wallet faster than a bad night at the casino, remember that Honda hasn't just built disasters, they have also built some of the toughest, longest-lasting compact cars ever made. Coming in as the first on our best list is the 1992 to 2000 Honda Civic, the 5th and 6th generation models, powered by the iconic D-Series engines. We are talking 1.5 liters and 1.6 liters single overhead cam 4 cylinders producing anywhere from 102 to 127 horsepower. Modest, simple, old school. But here's where things get interesting. The D15B7, D16Y7, and especially the D16Y8 VTEC engines were engineered with thick cylinder walls, overbuilt bottom ends, and oiling systems that refuse to give up. These engines tolerate low-quality fuel, missed oil changes, high mileage, and even the occasional overheat far better than almost anything Honda built afterward. Mechanics have torn down D-Series engines with 300,000 miles on the clock and found cross-hatching still visible on the cylinder walls. One shop reported a customer who drove a D16 nearly 50 miles with no coolant. And it still survived, with nothing more than a head gasket replacement. That's not normal. The other secret to their longevity is their simplicity. No turbochargers, no direct injection, no CVT. Parts are cheap, repairs are easy, and the aftermarket support is enormous. These Civics rarely develop internal engine issues. When they do, it's usually because someone neglected basic maintenance. Oil leaks, worn mounts, and tired suspensions are common, but none of that threatens the engine's lifespan. While the 1992 to 2000 Civics proved Honda could build engines that practically refused to die, they weren't the only bright spot in the lineup. After the disastrous 2006 model and the inconsistent early 8th gen years, Honda had something to prove, and by the end of that generation, they delivered. The next entry on our best list is the 2010 to 2011 Honda Civic, the late 8th gen refresh that quietly became one of the most dependable modern Civics ever built. If the early 8th gen was a stumble, the 2010 to 2011 models were Honda regaining their balance and planting their feet firmly back in the drive forever territory. Unlike the cracked block 2006 Civic that left owners stranded, these later models received updated castings, improved coolant channels, and revised components that addressed the earlier engine flaws. Most of the 2010 to 2011 models use the R18A1 engine. But here's the key difference. The casting revisions finally solved the premature cracking issues. Compression readings on high-mileage examples are consistently strong, and mechanics frequently report these engines hitting 250,000 to 300,000 miles without any major internal repairs. And compared to the 2016 to 2018 CVT-plagued 10th gens, the automatic transmission in these Civics is old school, durable, and heavily proven. No belt slip, no early wear, no fuel-diluted oil washing through the system. Just a traditional torque converter automatic that's known for surviving long past its expected life. The manuals are even better as they are Honda smooth and nearly indestructible when maintained. However, the improvements don't stop there. Suspension components were strengthened, electronics were simplified, and the HVAC issues from earlier years were largely resolved. Unlike the fragile early 2000s automatics, the 2010 to 2011 models don't have a reputation for sudden catastrophic failures. If something goes wrong, it's usually small. An engine mount, a wheel bearing, or a tired starter. Cheap fixes, not budget destroyers. One independent Honda specialist documented a 2011 Civic with 410,000 miles still on its original engine and transmission. Something you would expect from a D-Series, not a late 2000s commuter. That reliability is exactly why this generation earns a top spot. Even though the late 8th gen Civics proved Honda could still correct their mistakes, the real comeback story arrived just a few years later. Because while the 2012 Civic stumbled hard, earning criticism for cheap materials, sloppy refinement, and lackluster engineering, Honda didn't wait around. They went back to the drawing board, reworked everything, and delivered one of the most dependable modern Civics ever built. That brings us to the next entry on our best list, the 2013 to 2015 Civic, the fully refreshed 9th generation that turned a shaky platform into a long-term reliability champion. If the 1992 to 2000 D-Series Civics are the old-school kings of longevity, the 2013 to 2015 models are their modern, refined descendants. Under the hood, most trims use the R18Z1 and R18Z9 engines, updated versions of the R18 family that addressed virtually every weak point seen in earlier years. These engines feature improved cooling passages, stronger block castings, and a revised oiling system. Mechanics cracking open high-mileage examples regularly find minimal wear, solid compression, and spotless cylinder walls. It's the kind of internal condition you would expect from an engine with half the mileage. And unlike the disaster-prone early 2000s automatics, or the questionable CVTs in the early 10th gen, the transmissions in the 2013 to 2015 Civics are some of Honda's most reliable of the past decade. The 5-speed automatic is nearly unkillable, with many units crossing 250,000 to 300,000 miles without a rebuild. Even the CVT introduced in later trims performs far better than the 2016 to 2018 units. It doesn't suffer from fuel dilution contamination, early belt wear, or the juddering that plagued the next generation. Owners consistently report low maintenance costs and very few serious mechanical failures. Most issues are minor: AC relays, worn engine mounts, or tired suspension bushings. No cracked blocks, no sandpaper-like contamination grinding through the engine, no multi-thousand-dollar surprises. One shop documented a 2014 Civic with 355,000 miles, original engine, original transmission, and compression numbers still within factory spec. That's the kind of durability that earns a Civic a place on the Drive Forever list. The 2013 to 2015 Civic proved Honda could reclaim its reputation for bulletproof reliability, but the real turning point came when they finally fixed the mess they created with the early 10th gen. Because while the 2016 to 2018 Civics were plagued with fuel dilution issues and early CVT wear, Honda wasn't about to let their flagship compact go down in history as a reliability failure. They went back, strengthened the weak points, revised the engineering, and released the version that owners actually expected from the start. That brings us to the final entry on our best list, the 2019 Plus Honda Civic, the updated 10th gen, and the first modern Civic to truly earn the Drive Forever badge. If the 1992 to 2000 D-Series Civics are the unkillable legends, and the 2013 to 2015 models are the modern sweet spot, the 2019 Plus Civics are the polished, matured descendants. Honda took the problematic L15B7 turbo engine from 2016 to 2018 and reworked the oiling system, improved piston ring sealing, and updated the software that caused excessive fuel enrichment at low temperatures. The result? Fuel dilution was drastically reduced. High-mileage examples of the updated engines show clean oil samples, stable compression readings, and minimal internal wear. And the CVT? This time, Honda got it right. The revised transmission uses improved belt material, stronger pulleys, and updated hydraulic control logic. Gone are the juddering, slipping, and early failure complaints from the earlier 10th gen models. Mechanics frequently report these CVTs hitting 150,000 to 200,000 miles with no major internal issues, something the 2016 to 2018 owners could only dream of. Compared to the disasters of the 2001 to 2005 automatics or the cracked block 2006 engines, the 2019 Plus Civic feels like Honda returning to form. Problems that do pop up like minor AC wear or aging bushings are cheap and manageable. It's the redemption arc of the 10th gen and a model built to go the distance.